Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. A lot of people complain when I call videos unboxing videos, and the only reason I really call them unboxing is because I like to share the immediate joy of and the honesty of the fact that I get these things and I open up and these are my first impressions. So sometimes I call them a first impressions video because that is often what you get. Now this product is a little bit different in the fact it's not first impressions, because this is the latest update of the PARD DS3570, and this has got the new illuminator on it. So it's changed from a VCSEL illuminator or laser to an LED illuminator. Now the laws with illuminators and things like that are always evolving, so you know, manufacturers have got to evolve with them and change rules and regulations as that goes on. So that's what's been done, so we're now going to move to an LED illuminator. I have just come back from holiday actually, haven't shot any foxes for a while, so although I've still been using the DS3570 and the DS3550 on a couple of different rifles, air guns, etc. It's a few weeks since I've used and light conditions have changed, so we'll get a good idea of what this is like when I get it set up on a rifle. I'll put it on the 223, I'll be using it predominantly for foxing, and just as I've come back I've noticed that one of my farmers has changed from, he's put a load of sheep on his field now, so we're going to have some sheep to protect come seasons advancing upon us. Take this out of here. 7 seconds of joy they say on these boxes, the way they open these days, but I think that took a little bit more than 7 seconds. Let's have a little look. Squeeze it out of the box, double check the details on the end. So PARD model DS3570 RF. RF stands for range finder, distributed by Sportsman Gun Centre UK, British standard approved, warranty period 2 years. So that means that everything is legitimate. Right, first thing in the box here, we've got a neoprene cover to go over the top now. Some people didn't like the DS35 because it has this unit on top, which is both the illuminator and the laser rangefinder. You can have this scope in 3 formats. You can have it with nothing, so just a night vision to use with your illuminator or without any illumination at all, or you can have it with the onboard infrared illuminator or the laser rangefinder, or you can have both. So choice is yours. My choice would be to have the full unit with the laser rangefinder and the illuminator, because that's everything then, and you're never going to have any kind of regret and think, well, I wish I'd got the next model up. So here we go, that is it. So this label here probably means that if we take that out, there is a battery on the inside of there. Remove the battery protection tape before use. No surprise there, we've got a lens cap on there, or a little cover there to protect the lens in transit. Now the great thing with the DS35 is it's got 100mm of eye relief, so it's 100mm there. It's also got a circular image, so it looks very, very similar to a regular daylight rifle scope. This can be used daylight or night vision. Now this is a very complex and somewhat Marmite topic, because a lot of people don't like to think it's a round image. Now when you think about it, your human eyeball is circular, you see a generally round image, but of course a lot of images we have are somewhat ovalized or maybe even rectangular, like the 4:3 aspect ratio or 14:9 aspect ratio, because we've got 2 eyes and we see, you know, in stereo effectively. But of course when using a rifle scope you've only got 1 eye, so why not have it circular? Interestingly, the sensor within has still got a rectangular aspect ratio, so when you get playback footage that you recorded on it, that still shows as a normal rectangular aspect ratio that you have on your TV screen. But there's a frame inside this effectively, so you only see circular. Now the great thing about that is that you're never having to look up into corners or diagonals to try and see all those icons and displays for things like battery function or range, etc, etc. So what I would say about the DS35 over any rifle scope I'd used any digital rifle scope I'd used previously is that that circular field of view and the 100mm of eye relief and the fact it's on a 30mm tube makes it mount, and in terms of ergonomic use it is so similar to a regular daytime rifle scope. Looking in a little bit more detail now, there's a folding lens cap on the front, so you can leave that closed in daylight. You can actually shut it or open it as well there, and open that completely for use in darkness. You don't need huge lenses on these night vision rifle scopes in digital format, because all the processing and all the sensitivity is controlled digitally, so you don't need that physically large amount of light. On top, we've got the new LED illuminator and the laser rangefinder. So that's going to give you range to target and obviously illuminate target if you don't have any kind of natural light source, moonlight or cloud cover which is reflecting moonlight, you know, street lights, things like that. A lot of those give you great illumination for night vision usage, especially around farmyards and things like that, which might be fairly close to roads. Being able to illuminate gives you ranges much further out. I used the previous version out to beyond 350 meters with the onboard illuminator, so I'll be keen to see how the new LED version matches up to that. As I said, you've got 30mm tubes, you can mount it normally in regular rings. The battery fits in the side here and it uses an 18650 flat top battery, so you can easily carry spares. So all I need to do, and this is why I can say it's totally box fresh, I can take the insulator off there, take that off there, that goes back in, and this will now go live. I love the fact you can just swap batteries so quickly and easily. It never affects zero or anything like that. And you know, you can go out without any hassle at all. If you need to swap a battery, just pop another one in. It's done in seconds and it's not sort of tiny. You've not got to run cables or things like that to run an internal battery. All the controls are handled with this turret on top, which is press and clicks detents round, and you've got various buttons on the back here and a full on-off button there, which helps you set it all up, go through the menu structures, and that's something I'll cover in the full review. Now, you can, if you want to, put the bellows on the back. You don't actually need to use it. It can be handy sometimes if you've got too much light coming in the side, you know, you don't want to disturb the fact that you're using a night vision scope, and you might not want quite as much reflection visible from your face, because obviously there is a small screen inside, which is effectively a tiny TV you're watching. But some people like it, some people don't. I've used it both ways, and to be fair, depending on the external light conditions, it's quite good in either way. And of course, without it on, you've got absolutely normal ergonomics with that full eye relief, and you're not even going to have this kind of even just brush your face. Not that there's ever going to be any pain. This has actually got 6,000 joules of recoil resistance, but don't confuse recoil resistance with actual eye relief or comfort to the shooter. 6,000 joules is about a 30-06 with a 180 grain bullet. 100mm is probably enough to shoot with that, but you'll see some night vision scopes, they've got, you know, 55, maybe 60mm of eye relief. That's getting quite close to your eye, and even though they've got similar recoil protection rating of around 6,000 joules, I wouldn't want them that close to my face. And I think in fairness, in the UK, we're generally not going to be shooting more than 243s, maybe 6.5 Creedmoors for foxing these days, or night vision use. But the way the laws are changing, night vision for certain species may become quite an attractive feature very soon. Right, well, let's have a look at some of the last features of this and just see what's in this small box here. You do get a nice little instruction manual. List goes through all the features and functions for zeroing it and using the laser rangefinder. You've also got your warranty booklet here. Of course, the laser rangefinder collaborates with the ballistic solutions in this, so you can set it up with bullet weight, muzzle velocity, ballistic coefficient, things like that, also the scope height above the bore, and it will give you a second reticle projected on the screen when you press that button to show you the aim point for that maybe more distant quarry from your zero range. You can video on this, you can take stills on it, and it's got full electronic functionality in terms of screen brightness, things like that. We'll go through all that in the full review. Just having a last little look at what else is in the box with it. I don't know what's in these, because sometimes I get samples that have already been used, other times I get absolutely brand new retail samples, which is what this looks like. So in here I have got some more bits of cardboard. I've got two 30mm scope rings that will fit Picatinny rail. That's very nice. And I've also got in this box, let's have a look and see what's in here. We've got a cleaning cloth. I've got possibly some Allen keys for mounting the scope. And last but not least, we've got the USB-C charging cable to charge the battery when it is in the scope. If I remember correctly, there's a rubber cap there. The USB-C plugs in there. There's also a slot there for a micro SD card for your stills and video footage. There's also an HDMI out or a video out function there. All the buttons on top are rubberized. Button left on side for turning on and off. Let's just see that and just hold that down. 1, 2, 3 seconds, then that's switched on now. So I can see that like a regular rifle scope. And we'll record some foxing footage with it. So I don't think it's going to be massively different to the version 1 of this, because the new illuminator is going to make some changes, and of course it's fully UK legal compliant now. So we're going to see what it's like going foxing. I might use some additional illuminators as well, but I think for the moment I'll probably stick with the standard illuminator and just see how well we can do. It's August the 21st today, so that gives you an idea of what light conditions we're going to start having, because obviously the winter nights are coming in on us, but that does mean we're getting into some great foxing time, because when it's in the middle of June I'm not that keen on going out foxing. I quite like going to bed and getting some sleep, but there we go. Right, please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell and keep track of the regular uploads. If you go through to the end of the video, there's an advert and there's also a link you can click on for the British Shooting Show 2024, so please visit that and buy a ticket. Right, thank you for watching, bye for now.